people, I want to talk to you about something that's dear to my heart. And I'm going to say it how I feel it. I'm going to make it quick as I can. But we as black people, there's some things I'm getting ready to say to you. Even as I looked at my godson, Reed, who is a Division I, Division II, way above a Division III football player. This ain't me saying he's just my godson. The strongest on the team, squat more than everybody, bench press more than everybody, a straight A student. And now, his scholarship should be given to him in the 11th grade. But there's some stuff that I'm sick of. And I want to address us as a people first. Because if we don't do right by one another, we're done. Now, with that said, there are certain things that black people should not do. And one of them is talk about other black people that you disagree with or don't like at all on a public platform and let other white people weigh in. Because that makes you a Sambo, not an Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom fought for his people. Sambo was the one that told him. What are you talking about, Pastor? See, let me tell y'all something. Some of y'all were so glad. I'm looking at everybody because I want everybody. Some of y'all were so glad when the battle of Fuquay was over. But we had to fight, and I just walked in that side over there, which is half the size it should be, and double the money that we had to pay. But you look at the Summit Church, who just won a battle in Chatham County for the Religious Land Use Act. The same thing we fought for. That's right. But the Department of Justice defended them. But we had to spend our hard-earned money to even get the road put back where it was supposed to be. That's right. See, I think like this while y'all think we've moved on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm different than y'all. Yes, and it's really hard to deal with folk that ain't on my level. I ain't talking about money, none of that. I'm talking about how I think. And then fast forward into this week. There was a quarterback who completed 74% of his passes. He's been sacked more than any quarterback in the history of college. In just 2 years, he broke Colorado's all-time touchdown record while having a busted offensive line. His daddy just happened to be the greatest athlete of all time. I was battling between Bo Jackson and Djuan Sanders. And some said Bo is. They try to say that the Indian dude that played 100-some years ago, he was. But when I look at Bo and I look at Djuan had high major scholarships in baseball, basketball, and football, and track. That means everybody from Carolina to USC to UCLA, everybody wanted him in 4 sports. His coach told him, give up basketball, concentrate on football. It's a heavy heart I'm talking to you about now because we got Sambos in the pulpit that don't want to address what's going on. That's why Stokely Carmichael, y'all should study him. Because he's more fit than most preachers that we see in the pulpit nowadays. Because he's not only am I fighting for Christian causes, but I'm fighting for black causes. He fought for black causes. Yes, sir. So Djuan Sanders, Djuan, could get an interception and take it to the house. Play some receiver in high school, in college, and in the NFL as well. Then fly in his helicopter to the Braves Stadium and get 3 hits in the same day. Everything he bragged about, we're the same age. We built different. I come from a whole different age bracket, not where they're shaking hands now, where LeBron everybody's friend. Whenever I hated Clinton, he's the only dude I like from Clinton now. I hated Clinton in the 80s, I hate Clinton now. But now everybody's friends because you train teams and everybody shaking hands and all of that. I come from a different school. Djuan Sanders raised his 3 sons. Deion Jr., Shedeur, and Shiloh. His son Shedeur happens to be the highest rated quarterback coming out of college. Highest percentage perception. He was precise and exact. And then you have Mel Kiper, who is a white analyst who defended him and said, this is the best. I've been doing this for a long time. You had Skip Bayless jump up there and say it was racism. But for 3 days, we watched collusion. Collusion is when organizations cooperatively get together to say, no, don't harm, 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 no, don't harm. You've been blackballed. And then stupid people, stupid white people, say stupid stuff like, well, how could you say it's racism when the first player that was picked was black? There are some black players that are house Negroes. And then there are those like Djuan Sanders, who's a multi-millionaire. The greatest athlete of all time. A father who spent time with his children. Now I'm going to read you some stats that's going to blow your mind. Deion is not the first one who has sons that want to play in the NFL. Y'all remember Howie Long? White boy with his white hair? Had a son named Chris Long. Y'all know Christian McCaffrey? Had a dad in the league called Ed McCaffrey. You know the linebacker now for the Packers, his name is Clay Matthews. He had a daddy that played 19 years called Clay Matthews Sr. You know Archie Manning, that was the quarterback. He has two sons called Eli and Peyton. Why is it that when a black father, see, because I haven't experienced Deion's level, but I've had people in here, family and everybody else, that said, you guard your sons too much. But my sons turned out pretty doggone good in church. Had one man that used to go to our church, and he said, you're trying to live your dream through your sons. I said, I played in the CIAA. My sons chose to want to get scholarships, so that's what we're pushing for. Archie Manning is the greatest white coach and the greatest father of all time, and he has two sons named Eli and Peyton, who, by the way, are retired, but we have to see their faces every week. But when Deion, the black dad, see, you can't have it both ways. You can't argue at a black man when he leaves the house and say he's no good dad. But when the daddy stays in the house, but when a black daddy stays in the house and he raises his sons, he's brash, he's arrogant, he's this. Guess what? Shallow, Deion Jr., and Shedeur don't need no money. They all made millions already on their own. But to watch a white-owned league, because I'm going to blow your hat across the creek. 30% of the NFL is owned by children of the founders. The McCaskey family, George Halas's wife and them, they've been owning the Chicago Bears since 1920. And the rule for these rich white billionaires is, I can pass it on to DJ and Adrian. They can pass it on to Trey and Anya and AJ and Adrian Jr. And you can pass it on to them, but your children have to have a controlling 30% ownership of the organization. Dr. Jerry Buss passed the ledgers on to his daughter, Jeannie Buss. The reason why Magic Johnson is so rich is because Dr. Jerry Buss took Magic in as a son and said, son, this is your tax guy. This is your franchise guy. This is your business guy. And laid it out. Why is it that when LeBron's son, who might not be good enough to play in the NBA, he can get his son in the NBA? And then not only do white people talk about it, but Negroes talk about it. Because I'm sure there are going to be some Sambos from the pulpit today, you let me know, that's going to say bad things about Shedeur. Shedeur at best gets a touchdown. And I heard this from Javen. I didn't know what legendary meant. Javen was at the house one day and said legendary. So Deion's son will get a touchdown, do this, and say legendary. Now, you see all these people bragging. That's right. And let me teach y'all something about sports. If you ain't got that dog in you, that braggadocious in you, you ain't going to be able to play. The only good athlete is the athlete who thinks he's the best. But I watched Djuan's son go from the highest rated. Skip Bayless was up there cussing. Skip Bayless said this is racism. He said it stinks. He said not only was he the best quarterback, but he was the #1 player. But you know what they love? They love to see Travis Hunter get a scholarship and dance like a nigga. And they say, look at Travis. Look at Travis. The rest of the boys had chains on so big, they would swing. But then all over social media, you got white men who ain't played nothing. Couldn't be on my bench in high school. Didn't have a white boy on my team in Fayetteville State. Couldn't handle it. And now you got them talking. We've taught him a lesson. Maybe he'll eat some humble pie. Let me teach y'all something, because some of y'all parents won't tell you. You kids in here that are black, you got to be 10 times better. And don't nobody like you white like you think they do. And if you believe that, don't care if your daddy, your mama, your granddaddy told you, you're going to have a rude awakening. But for me to sit there and watch round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, scrubs get drafted. And this, you might say, this ain't the place for it. This is the place for it. And let me tell you why. Even my business, let me tell you why it's the place for it. Peter was acting a little racial. Peter would hang with the Jews, and then he get around the Gentiles, he do different. Paul said in Galatians chapter 2, starting at verse 11, he said, I confronted him to his face because he was a racist. All this white Southern Baptist, white Jesus talk, y'all going to hell. Jesus was black, and it does matter. It does matter. And I'm tired of folks saying it don't matter, because if it didn't matter, take that white Jesus off the doggone wall. Y'all really don't know. And guess what? I'm not preaching today. He's preaching today. I ain't fit to preach today. I'm tired, but not only that, it's 4th Sunday. Amen. And I'm tired of my body. He's got a word for you. Amen. But I need to get these things off my chest, because out of the 32 teams in the NFL right now, 30% of them are still owned by the founding members of that team. That means that that team has been in their families since 1920. And then you got Negroes saying, work hard, it'll come. You got Negroes who built their wealth off the church saying, work hard, it'll come. No. You need some help. And it ain't no handout. And you tell me we don't deserve reparations when we built this country? The world hates Djuan Sanders. And the world hates Floyd Mayweather. I thought that I had hate in my heart. I thought people had hate against me down in Sampson County. I ain't seen nobody hate these 2 black men. And y'all be careful that you don't get caught up in these conversations. Because at the end of the day, and this is word right here, because my mama said it. When I hung with Chip, and I hung with Greg, and I hung with Robbie, mama said, son, you are still a nigga to me. That's right. I ain't stepping in there. That's what my mama told me. And I seen flares of it as we were chewing tobacco together. As we were, we cool. They drank behind. We're on the same team. But yeah, when the rubber hits the road and it's time to go different directions, they went a different direction. And now that I'm back in town, you ought to see the grocery store owners and the hardware store owners that won't support the business. Because I ain't the dude that used to work for your daddy. We're done. And you know what? I don't have the power nor the money to say, LeBron, Deion, you know what would have been great yesterday? For Shedeur to say, you know what? I'm removing my name from the draft. And go home. Because these teams are owned by white billionaires. But then when we say something, it's called nepotism. Nepotism. Bronny's not good enough. Bronny's not good enough. Nepotism. Jerry Jones owns the Cowboys, and his sons own the Cowboys. And as long as I stay a Cowboy fan, there's nothing I can do about it. Because I've died before the Joneses died. Because they're passing it on. See, when y'all don't come to church, young folk, on Wednesday nights, And I'm teaching about an inheritance. And leaving an inheritance for your children's children.
Yes, sir.
We are not paying attention to what's going on and how we're being left behind. All y'all black folk that own land around here and your families own land, the white folk have come through and bought it up and gave you $100,000 for your house and then put a $400,000 house in that spot. So now you got to go. Scholarships being abandoned. Then you have Sambo coaches who you trust your son with that will give scholarships to other folk. And then still leave. And see, whenever I tell you don't leave, there's a reason God will take you from high school to college back to JV coaching. Check my record. Taking up for white folk. Doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He know and I don't care because he's soft too. When you show your hand to me, you are showing your hand to me. That's the way I get down. Because I'm loyal to the death. Y'all bear with me. That's going to be a word. My brother, bear with me. You probably never seen a preacher like this, but bear with me. And people might say, this ain't the place for it. The black church has always been the crying, the roaring cry for the black community. But you got sisters in the pulpit now. You got guys talking about nothing now. And our people are falling through the cracks. And I'm one that has 22.3 acres. We're one that has it. But the Department of Justice didn't rescue us. We had to spend our money on it. We had to pray and spend our money. But the DOJ came and went and said, the Summit Church, you win. Y'all thought it was over there. You thought it was over. It ain't never going to stop until I die. Because I'm built different. And then I watched Sambos yesterday at a place that didn't want to support mine, but they just went right up there jumping. And I'm talking about how things work out. But we're in trouble, y'all. See, they put Glorilla who can't rap. They put Ice Spice who can't rap. They put, what's the other girl? Hey, what's her name? Big Lotto. They put Lotto in there who can't rap. They put Young Thug and all these guys in there who can't rap. And they planted them in our community to keep us with our britches sagging, our Glocks in our pants, our hating our brothers, while we are multi-millionaire slaves running behind a ball. Running behind a ball. Because the man who pulls the plugs, he's sitting up there in the booth. Or he's sitting over here. You love Steph Curry. Night. If I can pay Steph Curry $200 million, what kind of money am I worth? Let me tell you something else. Take y'all's mouth off of John Wall, old and young. John Wall made a whole bunch of money, and now you got Negroes hating on him. I love John. John came over my son. I pray that John make all the money in the world, but it doesn't make sense to have haters from the area who hate him because he has. And we've got to change our language. If you don't like what a black man is doing, you go to him and you tell him, but don't put it out there for public consumption for the white man to sit in the sauna and dog him out. And I'll be honest with you, you can call me soft, whatever you want to call me. But to see a black father, y'all be seeing, give me 2 more minutes. To see a black father who poured everything in this, you know what this white dude said? This white dude said, well, they don't want to take a chance on him because he's been coached by his dad from middle league, high school, to college. I said, that's what all you white boys do. My son's playing popcorn ball. The coach gonna put a little nappy, little curly head, white, blonde hair, little snot nosed kid up that quarterback. No good well, he can't play. But when we do it, now I'm gonna sound like them rappers. I heard this one rapper say it's okay when they do it. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. But when we do it, Deion is a bad father. Deion is a bad man. He's getting guys wealthy. But I want to say this to you in my closing argument. As I stand before a group of white people and 12 white, what do you call them? Jurors. Do you think what y'all been doing is right to us? For the last 400 years? Do you think it's right that you want to allow a black owner in the NFL? Do you think it's right that Tom Brady can be considered the GOAT and they change rules for him because he ain't the GOAT? They change rules for him. You can't hit him. If you're going to hit me all day long, with my weight that's on me right now, I'll throw 500 yards a game. I'll stand back here, and who's the fastest one here? Jordan, you think you're the fastest, don't you? I'll stand right here and say, 1, 2, 3. Let Jordan catch it and run 80 yards. Because you can't touch me. But you let the GOAT, you concoct Super Bowls for him to win. And then you give him $300 million to be a commentator. And then you allow him to be part owner of the Raiders. I know y'all don't want to hear this. Please visit us. That's going to be a word coming, because you hear this everywhere. But go back and study what I'm saying. Go back and study what I'm saying. Now he's part owner of a team. Mayweather tried to buy the Clippers. They said, "Nah, you too brash." But money's money. Ain't it? The NFL is owned by white owners. The NBA is owned by white owners. But who plays in the NFL? Who plays in the NBA? So I'm calling on y'all down here in Fuquay, 1000 Wagstaff Road, little old black country boy, calling on all you guys that got paper to walk away from the game and start our own league. See, you could have the scholarship that I wanted you to have, but they wouldn't let me build. See, this is real personal to me. Because there was supposed to be a school back there. There was supposed to be a football field back there. There was supposed to be a gym back there by now. I didn't know it would cost $500,000 to add a little bit of a wing and then add some septic tank stuff that we don't use. I didn't know I had to put 3 grease traps down for a kitchen that we don't even cook in. And then Summit Church, the DOJ supports them, and everything I'm saying is the truth. And it is not detrimental, and it is not putting anybody down. I'm speaking facts. So don't try to sue at all, because I'm speaking facts. But the Department of Justice from D.C. got involved to help them white folks. And then I had Negroes that left me when I was in the fight for my life, trying to hold on to what we had. And people hightailed it and left. And we're in trouble. We're in trouble. And the way we can start is by just doing right by your brother. Doing right by your sister. Not one black owner in the NFL. And they drafted scrubs ahead of Shedeur. And I'm closing with this. And the language was, now he's home. Look up the word buck breaking. During the slave days, I would be considered a buck. And so what they would do is they would get the biggest Negro and put him in front by a stump. Sometimes they would rape him. See, this stuff here, I can't, I'm just built different. I'm emotionally attached to this stuff. They would sometimes rape him. They would strip him down in front of everybody and beat him down. Because if you get the buck, all the rest gonna follow. Even in Black Panther. Black Panther, the bad guy, was Killmonger, played by. So in Black Panther, they had this substance called vibranium. Vibranium controlled the world. But the good guy, the Sambo, they played by, he said we're to help the world. See, when black people have something, we're to help the world. But when white people own stuff, they are to own the world. I had a preferred walk-on / scholarship / what do you call it when you work study? Scholarship. Because in Division II, they don't give it to you, they give it to out-of-state people. So I was a steal. But I was a high major basketball player. But my coach, Coach Fortman, allowed me to be MVP, all conference, 22 points a game, just to say, what you gonna do next? Instead of giving me a scholarship. That's right. By my 10th grade year. I was happy for Buddy Bud, who had an offer from Carolina. While he was doing his thing, I had 27. And I was just hoping that Dean Smith would look at me. And I look at the scores of players who've been done wrong. And I'm praying hard for you. You just have no idea. Because it's wrong. But we'll hurt one another. We'll hinder one another. And I just had to say this stuff. This boy throwing passes in tight windows. He can throw back there and hit your wife and son under a sack. That's right. And then they put Dylan Gabriel up there. Yes, sir. That's right. They put a 25-year-old dude, what's his name, Shouting? Whatever his name is. Put him up there. And the whole thing was, we're going to make an example. Y'all look up the word collusion. It's a corporative conspiracy when they get together and say, don't hire him.
That's right.
You thought your degree was going to get you hired, didn't you? They lied to you. If I go to school and I major in this, I can do this. They lied to you. Because if Jim Bob's dad is sitting up there, Jim Bob got the job his freshman year in college. All Jimmy Bob got to do is finish. Listen, go on, let Jimmy Bob finish. And then you got Ufe and Crumby over here, and y'all at the top of your class. Yep. And you walk up in there and you don't even know you're coming in with a master's degree. But old Jim Bob is a freshman. Right now we're not hiring. You're overqualified. How in the world you can be overqualified? But Jim Bob, all you got to do is finish Jim Bob. If Jim Bob finishes, he's got a job. And when Jim Bob messes up, they cover it. And when Jim Bob is out there raping people, they cover it. And when Jim Bob is out there sexually harassing people, they cover it. Jim Bob gets his job. Next thing you know, Jim Bob is the friend of the son's organization. After the owner don't have a son, Jim Bob will get it. And then that wealth is passed on. And then you hear black folks say, work hard. It's a great country. This, that, and the other. Work hard, work hard, work hard. If we don't start doing for one another, we can have nothing. Because I work hard, I preach hard, and they still try to take this job. And what you don't know is we hit the Department of Justice. They didn't respond. When I started on the news the other night and I hit you up, I sat there and I about cried. I said, wow, the Department of Justice is coming to their rescue. But we're going to let you niggas figure it out. God is our only way. As black people, that's the only chance we get that God will touch somebody and give some favor. We're done other than that.